back to the news at 10. Now, commuting within the Lagos metropolis is about to get a bit tougher, especially for those who face hurdles moving around the metropolis. And that's because after much contemplation, the Lagos state government has banned movement of motorcycles, popularly known as Okada, and tricycles known as Keke from major highways, bridges and roads. Some of the expressways affected include Lagos-Ibadan, Apapa, Oshodi-Oroshoki, Oshodi Expressway, Lagos-Ikorodu, and Lagos-Abeokuta Expressway. Some of the bridges affected are situated at Yanopaja, Dokpemu, Airport Ikeja Bridge, and Agege Motor Road, Oshodi Loop, Oshodi. For the roads, some affected locations are the popular Amadu Bello Way and Adeola Odeko Street in Victoria Island, Old Abeokuta Road in Agege, and Herbert Macaulay Way in Yaba. This is not the first time this ban will be handed down, as motorcycle operators were banned during the tenure of former Governor Babatunde Fashola in 2012. For the comprehensive list of affected highways and roads, do visit our website, www.channelstv.com, before you plan your journey, so you can know where such vehicles, or shall we call them, are banned. Let's take a look at some business news for the day. And here's Anne Wilder.
Thank you, Ijoma. Good evening and welcome to Business News. President Muhammadu Buhari has held bilateral meetings with the President of the World Bank, David Malpass, at the ongoing UK-Africa Summit in London. The President, who was accompanied by a delegation of government and business leaders, also met with the President of the African Export-Import Bank, Professor Benedict Orama. At a meeting with his Ghanaian counterpart, Nana Akufo-Addo, President Buhari says that Nigeria's borders were partially closed against its African neighbors to tackle the smuggling of food, arms, as well as hard drugs into the country. He further explains that despite its negative economic impact on some affected African countries, the border will only be reopened after a final report of a committee set up on the matter was submitted and conceded. Ahead of the annual World Economic Forum scheduled to begin tomorrow, January the 21st, the International Monetary Fund, the IMF, has now cut global economic growth to expectation for 2019 and 2020. The Washington-based institution lowered its initial forecast made in October for 2019 from 3% to 2.9%. The growth expectations for this year has been revised from 3.4% to 3.3%. IMF's chief economist, Geeta Gopinath, who made this known, warns that further trade tensions alongside rising geopolitical risks and intensifying social unrest could reverse easy financing conditions and severely disrupt growth. However, hints that the world needs stronger multilateral cooperation and national-level policies to help support a sustained recovery that benefits everyone. Reducing criminality and piracy in Nigerian waters are amongst the biggest achievements recorded by the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, NIMASA, in the year 2019. The Director General of the agency, Dr. Dakuku Peterside, made this known at the third edition of the NIMASA Dinner and Merit Awards, where he gave a scorecard of some of the Maritime Agency's achievements in the year under review.
Under the guidance of the Honorable Minister of Transport, the Right Honorable Chiwike Rotimi Amechi, we designed a robust architecture to tackle the issue of criminalities and piracy on our waterways. It is popularly called the Deep Blue Project. It is the most robust maritime insecurity architecture in West and Central Africa, and it is today a point of reference in the entire maritime industry. Under our leadership, Nigeria became the first country in sub-Saharan Africa to have a stand-alone anti-piracy act. Of all of these accomplishments, and of course I can reel out more, I can go on and on and on and reel out more, it's been made possible because of our people and because of the total commitment of our stakeholders.
Trading sentiments at the equities market has kicked off the week in the green. Investors are maintaining interest for some listed high-valued stocks on the NSE. Teniola Shibawale has the details for us.
and welcome to the Stock Market Report. The stock market closed Monday's session in positive territory, up by 0.31%, starting off the third trading week of January on a bullish note. This comes after bargain hunting for the shares of MTN Nigeria, as well as some key banking and industrial goods sector components, outweighed a massive 3.14% loss from the consumer goods counter of the NSE. Gains recorded by 22 equities, led by a 10% increase on Law Union's share price, contributed to the 47 billion naira increase in the market's overall value, while 12 equities led by tech firm NCR recorded price load shares. Meanwhile, a total turnover of 266.94 million units of shares changed hands in over 5,000 transactions, driven largely by Tier 1 lenders, Access, Zenith and GT Bank. And that's the Stock Market Report. I'm Teniola Shoboale.
Thank you, Teniola. Meanwhile, after a cautious trading session, it's mixed outcome for some of the world's leading stock markets, with Wall Street closing today in observance of Martin Luther King Day. Here are some of the closing figures for today. And that's business news for tonight. Thank you for watching. I'm Anne Nwawadu. The rest of the news at 10 continues now with Ijoma. Good evening.
Thanks a lot, Anne. 100 people have emerged winners in the ongoing Glow, Recharge and Win Big Promo, popularly known as My Own Dom Beta Promo, for a second time in Lagos. The promo, which was launched in October 2019, is aimed at setting people on the path of entrepreneurship by rewarding lucky Glow subscribers with tricycles, sewing machines, generators and grinding mills.
It's all about rewarding customers' loyalty, and these lucky winners are gathered here to claim their prizes in the ongoing Glow, Recharge and Win Big promo organised by Globacom. But how does this promo work?
There is an opportunity for more winners to emerge in this program. We therefore encourage you not to miss this wonderful opportunity as the promo continues. Simply recharge with only 200 naira at once or cumulatively daily, and you could be one of the winners of our fantastic prizes.
The lucky winners are presented with tricycles, industrial sewing machines, grinding mills and generators.
I didn't really know about the ongoing promo, but I just received a call from Glow office that I'm one of the winners of Keke. When I go now with my gifts, I'll be able to tell them that they too should continue recharging, loading 200 naira recharge card, because the promo is still ongoing, so that they can be one of the lucky winners as well.
Yeah, actually, my wife learned how to sew, but we are trying to raise money to establish her. But thank God, God has done it through Glow. I'm very grateful.
2, 1, 3, 5.
Another draw is conducted and winners are randomly selected from a pool of qualified customers.
We are empowering our subscribers to be economically empowered and independent for a very long time. You can see the prize we are giving. So people are winning Keke Marwa. I mean, this is an enterprise in itself. You know, you make a lot of money from it. And in a long time, you can invest this money into some other business. You can also employ people. It's an award-winning consumer program, and I'm proud of it.
Run away from wherever you are and run to Glow, and you keep winning.
The company believes that the Glow, Recharge and Win Big promo is the most exciting, people-focused empowerment initiative that has been activated yet.
And away from our shores, authorities in China say an outbreak of a new virus has been spreading rapidly from Wuhan, where it was discovered, to major cities in the country. Health officials have identified the infection as a strain of coronavirus, but they say it's led to an outbreak of viral pneumonia, though much about the virus remains unknown. Here's Simon Pusey with more in Around the World in 5.
Good evening from the Channel's newsroom here in London. The number of people infected with a new virus in China tripled over the weekend, with the outbreak spreading from Wuhan to other major cities. There are now more than 200 cases, mostly in Wuhan, though the respiratory illness has also been detected in Beijing, Shanghai and Shenzhen. 3 people have died. Japan, Thailand and South Korea have also reported cases. The sharp rise comes as millions of Chinese people travel for the Lunar New Year holidays. Health officials have identified the infection, which first appeared in Wuhan in December as a strain of coronavirus. They say it has led to an outbreak of viral pneumonia, but much about it remains unknown. Although the outbreak is believed to have originated from a market, officials and scientists are yet to determine exactly how it has been spreading. In the US, 3 airports were screening passengers to detect travellers from the central Chinese city of Wuhan who may have symptoms of the virus. Back in China, the government claims they are responding robustly to the outbreak. China has adopted a serious, careful and professional attitude since the beginning of the epidemic. China has been responding actively and made strict prevention control plans. China has also done all it can to treat the patients and has well managed those who have been in close contact with the patients. At least 2 protesters and 2 police officers have been killed in Baghdad and Basra on Monday as anti-government unrest resumed after a lull of several weeks. Dozens of Iraqi activists have also been wounded during clashes with security forces as anti-government unrest resumes. Iraqi security forces used tear gas and stun grenades to disperse protesters who threw Molotov cocktails and stones towards police and blocked several roads in the Iraqi capital. Demonstrators say Prime Minister Adel Abdul Mahdi has not fulfilled promises, including naming a new government acceptable to Iraqis. 2 people, including the suspected gunman, have died and up to 15 people have been injured after a shooting outside a nightclub in Kansas City in Missouri.
We can't get anywhere.
Footage posted online shows flashing lights from police vehicles as they shut down the area to passing traffic. Meanwhile, another nightclub shooting in San Antonio in Texas left 2 dead and 5 others hurt on Sunday when an argument inside a club escalated into a gunfight.
At the location is a bar. There's a line to get in, and the suspect showed up and started shooting into the line of people. We don't know what precipitated all of that. We don't know if there was any specific person targeted or a disturbance yet. We're still investigating what led up to this.
The Duke of Sussex has said he is taking a leap of faith in stepping back from being a senior royal, saying there really was no other option. Earlier on Monday, Prince Harry attended a summit for leaders of 21 African countries. In a speech the day before, he said he and Meghan had hoped to continue serving the Queen, but without public funding. Unfortunately, that wasn't possible, he said. Venezuela's opposition leader Juan Guaido has travelled to Colombia for a counter-terrorism meeting, the second time he's defied a travel ban imposed by the pro-government Supreme Court. Mr. Guaido was received by the Colombian president with full presidential honours. He is expected to meet the US Secretary of State in Bogotá. The US and more than 50 countries recognise Mr. Guaido as Venezuela's rightful leader. President Nicolas Maduro accuses the US of orchestrating a coup to oust him. China has announced it will ban single-use plastic bags and other items. The world's second biggest economy is stepping up restrictions on the production, sale and use of single-use plastic products as it seeks to tackle one of the country's biggest environmental problems. The National Development and Reform Commission and the Ministry of Ecology and Environment, which issued the new policy, said plastic bags will be banned in all of China's major cities by the end of 2020 and banned in all cities and towns in 2022. Markets selling fresh produce will be exempt from the ban until 2025. Other items, such as plastic utensils from takeaway food outlets and plastic courier packages, will also be phased out. And finally, storms have hit parts of Australia with huge hailstones raining down on parts of the country. New South Wales and Queensland have seen huge bushfires in the past week, but on Monday it was storms and hail that caused the damage. Hailstones as big as golf balls fell in some areas, smashing car windows and damaging buildings. Hundreds of emergency calls were made, with many people suffering minor injuries. There were heavy downfalls in parts of Victoria, New South Wales and Queensland, with a hailstorm also hitting Melbourne on Sunday. However, the bushfire crisis continues in the country. Despite the much-needed wet weather, more than 80 fires were still burning across New South Wales and Victoria on Monday. And that's your international news around the world in 5.
Thanks a lot, Simon. Extreme weather they're having over there. Still ahead on the news at 10, defending Australian Open champions Novak Djokovic and Naomi Osaka scale opening round hurdles at the Australian Open in Melbourne. That's on sports. You stay with us.